Business Show with Regina. 15th February 2022. Love is still in the air. Time check is 12 minutes past 1 p.m. Yes, it's the day after Valentine's Day, and I tell you, when you go online, you definitely have a field day with all the memes, all the funny videos, all the you know unfortunate incidents that took place yesterday, people getting served breakfast left, right, center. But I'm sure a lot of people made the most of it, and they had an amazing time. Well, for me, I was stuck in traffic, got home, slept, and all. But every day we celebrate love. So today on Scam Alert segment, we look at habits that can make you a victim of a potential scam. And the reason I decided to treat this topic is most times we get carried away with just focusing on, oh, the scam, so and so person is a scammer, this page on Instagram is a scam page, that page on Instagram is a fake page, this is a fake investment scheme, and all that. Fine. Investment fraud, most particularly, because that's the one that is very common these days. You see a lot of all these so-called investment managers with their well-tailored suits, good haircuts, smelling nice, great photo shoots. They use influencers to market all these their fake investment schemes. So many of them online. So investment fraud occurs when a scammer uses false or misleading information to convince an investor to make sale or purchase decisions. The illegal and deceptive practices such as Ponzi schemes, pyramid schemes. We did pyramid schemes last week. No, multi-marketing schemes. So I think on the next Scammer segment, we'll compare pyramid scheme and multi-level marketing schemes, so we are able to identify and differentiate them. Violate securities laws and end the losses for the investors. So in all, what makes you a potential victim of a scam? One, when there is a knowledge gap. When there is a knowledge gap, we say this all the time on investor education series on the importance of financial literacy. We have like about 3 or 4 videos posted on financial literacy, but I tell you, despite all these efforts, financial literacy is still very low in our country because we don't tend to have enough conversations around money, around finances, around how we manage our finances as a people. So as a result, a lot of people can tell when I cannot tell when an offer is too good to be true, which is quite unfortunate because a lot of investment scams mask themselves as legitimate by flaunting, business registration certificates. Yes, there's nothing scammers cannot do these days. Even most of those fake pages online that scam people, some of them have business accounts in some of the major banks, which kind of brings me to something that I would like to address quickly before we move forward. That it is still alarming that in this day and age, someone gets scammed and they go to the bank, provide the person's name and everything, and even when they report to the police, the bank sometimes are always adamant to even assist, which is a very, very big shame. And that's why a lot of people are still falling victims to some of these scams. So registering a business with the Corporate Affairs Commission does not mean that they are licensed to hold investors' funds. However, the volume of fraud cases shows that this is not common knowledge because a lot of Nigerians are unaware that fund managers need license from SEC as well. SEC, that is Securities and Exchange Commission. And most of these Ponzi schemes have become popular through recommendations, not just from financial experts, from people that people, friends, family members, and also people in their financial knowledge background whom they trust and respect as well. There are people around you that you feel like, oh, this person seems like they've gotten a hang of their business or they know exactly what they're doing. Why not just ask them and all that? And they refer you somewhere and you get scammed at the end of the day. So it's important to ask for the advice from your financial expert. And this is why Nigerians become victims of these bad actors, also because a lot of influencers and celebrities tend to endorse some of these fake investments. And I've said it before, your favorite influencer is just about after getting that reach, likes and engagement, and also bagging that deal from that fake investment company. And when issues happen, they will come out and say, oh, I didn't know anything about it, oh, it's none of my business, my own was just to post the advert. I've seen quite a number of them who have said things like this. Also, another thing that could make you a potential victim is when you have few options. The high number of investment fraud cases points that Nigerians are not exactly risk averse, because they want to invest and get returns immediately. However, they do not have many appealing options as well, because they have to contend with issues of inflation, which can erode their gains in the long run as well. Also, technically, most times people just feel like, oh, going through financial advisors or services, I would have to pay them for their service, their time, and all. And you're always trying to cut costs under the guise of few options, which shouldn't be the case. Also, another reason is because justice is scarce, and I tell you this statement is true to an extent, because I've come across various times on social media, especially Twitter, where a lot of these popular figures on Twitter, they invest in the investment schemes of young ones, and they get swindled at the end of the day. And then you go through the stress of reporting to the EFCC, the police, and the case keep going on and on and on. And a lot of people, the reason they deter themselves from reporting to some of these financial law enforcement agencies is because of the fee that comes with long-standing litigation. Paying for your lawyers all the time can be time-consuming as well. And so when people look at it, how much did I even invest? How much will I pay lawyer? Well, let me just let them go. Hence one of the reasons a lot of people still fall victim. So consequently, not enough of these fraudsters are even facing the law, and some are even living as a sufficient escape plan. So also, if you've never been subjected to an investment fraudster sales pitch, you probably know someone who has. Yes, it happens all the time, because financial fraudsters tend to go after people who are on the edge, people who are looking for ways to invest their money, people like college educated graduates, who are optimistic, self-reliant, some of your old parents or grandparents who are retired, they don't know what to do with their retirement funds and all. So these are people who are always at risk from getting swindled by some of these fake investment scams. Also, another habit that could make you a potential victim is when you underestimate the risk of an investment. Because we live in a digitized world, you've grown up knowing how to navigate your way through the internet, does not mean that you can't fall at risk of cybercrime. It does not mean that you can't be at risk, because there are plenty of reasons to make this mistake. For example, if you're working from home, you may assume your employer is taking care of cyber security for you, or you use a free ad blocking system, not realizing it doesn't stop malware downloads as well. These things could get into your computer and then put your information at risk, and then scammers will take advantage of it. Another habit is if you sound and you act desperate. We know they say desperate time calls for desperate measures, but I tell you, when it comes to your money and your investment, desperate times calls for financial advice. Seek the help of a professional. Let them advise you appropriately to know your risk bracket, where you fall, what you should invest in, what you should not invest in. You may feel like, oh, their fees may be expensive, but no, it's quite sensible and smart of you to rather pay them the fees that you feel they are worth, because they are going to definitely do their job by advising you appropriately on what to invest in. Also, if you're on the internet, always looking on the page of your favorite celebrities, looking at, oh, what is she investing in? I tell you, half of the time, or most times, you see most of these celebrities that post or endorse products, they do not use those products. I tell you, a number of them do not use products. And if you've been following all the happenings around, especially on social media, you'd have come across a few actors, actresses who have gotten into issues with some brands because of sponsored posts, and they end up admitting that, oh, even I myself do not use this product. So because a celebrity or a comedian or a skit maker or whoever is endorsing that investment scheme doesn't make it legitimate. And you know, when you underestimate the risk involved, that's one of the traits that you could get swindled in the end. So while we're out there, you know, trying to invest our funds and make sure that we have something to fall back on, let's keep making smart financial decisions. Talk to your stockbrokers, talk to your financial advisor before you decide to go into any investments. There are 1,001 investments online. They have offices, well furnished offices in choice areas on the island, but do not fall for their tricks. More to come for you on the afternoon business show. See you no more on Business Radio.
Eyes, your